Have you ever noticed a pattern in your life that you know you should change, but you just can't seem to? Perhaps it is the aimless scrolling on your phone late at night, a sensation often called brain rot. Or the way you find yourself reflexively saying yes to commitments you don't actually want. When we feel mentally overwhelmed, stuck, or scattered, our natural reaction is to reach for a massive overhaul. We want the regimented action plan, the 5-step program, the total transformation blueprint immediately. But jumping straight to action without awareness is like building a house without any blueprints. You might get something standing, but it likely won't be what you actually needed. Most of our lives are not a series of conscious choices, but a collection of reflexive actions. In fact, up to 70% of our waking behavior is purely habitual. If you feel scattered, it isn't because you're lazy or broken. It's because your system is running on defaults that no longer serve you. Today, I want to invite you to a 14-day habit reset. This is not a high-energy hustle routine, but a grounded, scientific journey toward mental clarity. Over the next 2 weeks, we will explore the quiet power of noticing. We are going to find a sustainable path for change by looking at the mechanics of the mind rather than just the strength of your will. Let's slow this down. We live in a culture obsessed with action, where structure is often mistaken for progress. When we fail to stick to a new routine, we tend to blame our character. But the science of the mind tells us a different story. If your habits are failing, it is a system problem, not a you problem. The average adult makes about 35,000 decisions every single day, most of them without realizing it. This leads to a state called decision fatigue, where your brain's functional reserves wane and decision-making defaults to quick shortcuts. There is also a concept called limbic friction. This describes the internal strain required to overcome your current state, whether that is the anxiety of starting something new or the exhaustion of a long day. If your habits require too much limbic friction every day, they will eventually fail. Habits fail because we try to force them with intensity, when the brain actually craves consistency and safety. What if the reason you haven't changed is simply because your brain is trying to keep you safe? Our brain is a survival machine. It's programmed to keep us in a predictable world and does not like to be caught off guard. When we understand that our biological bomb squad is just trying to protect us from unpredictable threats, we can stop the self-criticism and start building systems that work with our neurology instead of against it. You might have heard it takes exactly 21 days to form a habit, but this is a myth. It was popularized by anecdotes rather than rigorous trials. In reality, the timeline is highly variable, taking anywhere from 18 to 254 days. So why a 14-day reset? Psychologically, we're moved by temporal landmarks, dates that act as fresh starts, like a new week or a new month. These landmarks create a mental distance between our past imperfections and our current potential. By starting a reset, you are relegating your former failures to a previous mental accounting period. This allows you to view your current self as superior. Research shows that most people begin noticing meaningful patterns in their lives within 1 to 2 weeks of consistent daily observation. 14 days is an optimal dose of change. It is different enough from your default patterns to count as progress, but safe enough that your brain doesn't trigger a full-scale threat response. During these 2 weeks, we aren't aiming for perfection. We are aiming for information. In this first phase, the primary mental change is shifting from an action bias to an observation bias. Awareness is not just cognitive, it is somatic, emotional, and nervous system based. During these first 4 days, you are not trying to fix yourself. You are simply listening to what your mind and body are signaling. Old habits often protect something hurt or painful. Trying to eradicate them without understanding their function often backfires. Observe these 5 areas without judgment. 1. Energy levels. When are you alert? When do you feel a decline? 2. Emotional patterns. What triggers anxiety, frustration, or peace? 3. Physical sensations. Where does your body hold tension? 4. Thought patterns. What narratives or stories do you tell yourself repeatedly? 5. Authentic moments. When do you feel most like yourself versus performing for others? Pause 2 or 3 times a day for just 30 seconds to gather this information. You are already executing change. You are moving from reacting automatically to responding thoughtfully, based on understanding yourself deeply. In the second phase, the focus shifts from observation to choice architecture. This means designing your environment so that the right choice is the easiest one to make. Mentally, this is the transition from the prefrontal cortex, your pilot, to the basal ganglia, your autopilot. Through Hebbian learning, neurons that fire together wire together. Repetition strengthens the neural pathways associated with new behavior. This creates what neuroscientists often describe as a neural superhighway. 3 proven methods support this. The 2-minute rule: start with a habit so small it's impossible to say no. Habit stacking: anchor a new behavior to an existing routine. And task bracketing: be intentional about how you start and end your sessions, programming your hard drive. Remember, dopamine is not just a pleasure chemical. It is a molecule of anticipation and motivation. Your brain releases it when you expect a payoff, giving you the energy to act. In the final phase, the change is profound. You move from outcome-based habits to identity-based habits. Many people focus on what they want to achieve, the goal. But lasting change happens when you focus on who you wish to become. This is the concept of the integrated self, where behavior, cognition, and motivation are connected. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. You aren't just trying to exercise, you are becoming the kind of person who takes care of their health. When a habit is tied to your identity, skipping it feels off or unnatural. This is where change becomes quiet and stable. You no longer fight your old self, you are simply being your new one. As we close this 14-day journey, remember, the most important part of progress is simply showing up. If you miss a day, that makes you human. The key is to never miss twice. This challenge is not a sprint. It is the compound interest of growth. Take these principles with you. Be the observer, then be the architect. Think of your daily habits as acts of self-compassion rather than self-discipline. Your future self is waiting for the votes you cast today. Think of your mind like a garden. You cannot demand flowers grow in a single burst of effort. You must first observe the soil, remove weeds that have grown automatically, and with small, consistent care, create an environment where growth becomes natural. Did that hit home for you?